Hello, everyone, and welcome to this introduction to the topic of collective superintelligence, or CSI, which is now very much emergent from the togetherness, which is also emergent. I would like this introduction to also be an invitation to specific folks to not only come themselves, but invite everyone who you'd like to invite to this conversation. I've had conversations with this on this and related topics with a number of the folks who I'm about to invite. It's time for us all to come together, is the bottom line. So I'd like to invite Dr. David Fogel, Dr. Nathan Mervold, Dr. Nick Bostrom, Bill Gates, Alex Ganares, Elon Musk, Dr. Andre Karpathy, Dr. Brian Harvey, Dr. Hal at MIT, and many other folks who I'll forward this on to subsequently, but that'll give you a taste. We need to basically bring these just super powered minds of not just collective intelligence, not just artificial intelligence, but we need even philosophers of science to help us with this one, and philosophers of information. We need so many disciplines. It's not even funny. A World Cafe would be a great place to start. Maybe that is the way to start, because there's going to be so many of us jumping into the conversation. I think we're going to need the breakout rooms. But in a nutshell, here's what's emergent and here's what's about to just explode is we're evolving a very robust, powerful conversational domain, right? How do we meet and have conversations with each other? How do we design those conversations? How do we invite? How do we filter? How do we do all these things? How do we mash that up with social networks, social networking as a topic, as a field? The conversational domain will support a very specific implementation of collective superintelligence, which will be a solution engine. And I specifically point to a 30 minutes of video, which I'll point to. Make sure you check that out. The domain of modeling. David Fogel and I have worked extensively on computer modeling. I'm so blessed to have worked with him and his dad, Dr. Lawrence Fogel. Rest in peace. On modeling and optimization. It's so cool. There's so much we can bring to this. All of you folks are super good at modeling. So let's bring that into it. The domain of sense making. And I point also to Daniel Schmachtenberger, who we need in on this conversation. Also Michael Gosney, Dr. Alexander Laszlo. Anyway, I'll keep generating names, but I don't want to bore you to tears. But we need to bring all these domains together and so many other domains, integrate them, hyperlinked, integrated through search, through bots, through all kinds of, pattern matching, the cool kind of stuff that Andre has come up with, archive sanity notably. He just did that in his spare time. It's so super cool. Anyway, there's more stuff to integrate than we can shake a stick at this point, both software, AI, hardware, and then just bringing humans into it. But the key part is the merging of and the mashing up of human intelligence with AI. And that's what we're in the process of achieving here. Now, we need to be very responsible for this because it's going to grow exponentially. And so how do we, how do we keep it benevolent is one of the key questions that I know keeps Nathan Mervold up at night. And for good reasons. I want to finish with a quote from Nick Bostrom from his book, Superintelligence, one word, which has a really nice endorsement from Bill Gates on the front cover. But what of the seemingly more fanciful idea, this is from page 60, and this is one of the few references to collective superintelligence that Nick writes about. Most of his book is about AI. But what of the seemingly more fanciful idea that the internet might one day wake up? Could the internet become something more than just the backbone of a loosely integrated collective superintelligence? something more like a virtual skull housing an emerging unified superintellect. This was one of the ways that superintelligence could arise, according to Werner Vinge's influential 1993 essay, which coined the term technological singularity. Oh, also Ray Kurzweil needs to be in on this. I met Ray in 2005 at Microsoft just after he published his book, The Singularity is Near, which I point to vigorously from this conversation. Anyway, against this, one could object that machine intelligence is hard enough to achieve through arduous engineering, and that it is incredible to suppose that it will arise spontaneously, right? However, the story need not be that some future version of the internet suddenly becomes super intelligent by mere happenstance. A more plausible version of the scenario would be that the internet accumulates improvements through the work of many people over many years, work to engineer better search and information filtering algorithms, more powerful data representation formats, more capable autonomous software agents, and more efficient protocols governing the interactions between such bots. And that myriad incremental improvements eventually create the basis for some more unified form of web intelligence. It seems at least conceivable that such a web-based cognitive system, supersaturated with computer power and all other resources needed for explosive growth, save for one crucial ingredient, could, when the final missing constituent is dropped into the cauldron, blaze up with superintelligence. We're at that moment now, okay? And the togetherness that is the big elephant in the room amongst all others here at Snack Bar, the togetherness is that primordial stew out of which this it is the cauldron. Togetherness is the cauldron. Right now, the ingredient, up until now, the ingredients have been separate. We're bringing them all together. This is the cauldron. Welcome to the cauldron. In fact, I'm just going to have to call this topic the cauldron. All right. So very good. We'll see you in the conversation. Please spread the word. No matter how many of us show up, we'll just do a World Cafe that can accommodate all of us. It's as simple as that. We don't have time to screw around. Let's do this. See you in the conversation. Thanks.